All right. So, hi and welcome everybody. This is Divya Madhur, and we are today talking about overthinking. All of us, in our own rights, have some way or the other have overthought so many things, and we've kind of blown ourselves up in so many ways, thinking and thinking and thinking about the same stuff again and again and again and again, and not arriving at a solution. So, today's topic and conversation is all about overcoming overthinking. Okay, we can use the over and it just overcome all of that stuff which is excessive for us and is not needed. All right. So, they'll might be sharing my screen and any questions that arise in the conversation, please feel free to share them in the chat. Please feel free to voice them out. You're free to keep your cameras on, off, whichever way you feel. It's completely your preference. All right, so here we go. I will just share my screen. Allow me a moment. Okay, perfect. You guys are able to see my screen. If anybody can give me a thumbs up, I will just know it's visible to all of you. All right. I'm just waiting for someone to confirm that you're seeing it. You can put it in the chat or give me a thumbs up. Okay, so idea of overcoming is to find your calm and to find your peace. Okay, and why am I talking to you about this? Throughout my life journey, I've been through various experiences and things which did put me in overthinking. I overthought for days, for months, for years. And I eventually realized that this was not helping. And what happened in lieu of that is that I started to find better ways to live my life, and I started to understand what can make my life better now, and then started working from there onwards. So I am talking to you as a certified spiritual healer. I'm talking to you as a create your best life coach. I help people curate and create their best lives, which could mean in any way, health, wealth, relationships, environment, anything that they're looking to change in their lives and become a better version of themselves and have a better life. I'm also a TEDx speaker. I've spoken about self-love and how important it is to have clarity of our thoughts while we do that. And I'm also an emotional mental health advocate. And I'm constantly looking for spreading awareness about emotional and mental health wherever and however possible. So this is me. And we'll quickly go on to what is overthinking. Now, overthinking, as I just mentioned before, is thinking the same thought over and over again and over a prolonged period of time. It's not about something that you thought about something just for 5 minutes and you say it's overthinking. It is not, but something you've been thinking over for days, for probably months sometimes, and probably for years. But you're constantly thinking the same thought without coming out of that zone. And it is for a longer period. So these are the ways you will understand that you are overthinking if you're engaging in any such patterns. All right. Okay. I will try and speak a little louder. All right. You would have heard this term for sure, which is called paralysis by analysis. We literally get, now when we're talking about paralysis, it's nothing to do with the body, but it is so much to do with our mind. We get mentally paralyzed thinking about that thing over and over and over again because you're not thinking anything different in order to solve it. We are only thinking that thing constantly over and over again, which is maybe a problem, which is maybe a fear, which is maybe a grief, a sorrow. And that's when it becomes paralytic for our mind because our mind does not know how to come out of that loop. It becomes like this loop which is constantly going on and on and on. And every loop has to be broken to get out of. And that's what happens when we are constantly thinking we're not able to break out of that loop. It's usually worry led. It's not solution focused. It is just that if, okay, what will happen to my child? 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 It's not that how can I make my child's life better? I'm just taking an example right now. It could vary in different ways for different all of you. So that's what it is. And you're doubting every single decision of yours. If you find yourself doubting like the smallest of decisions, which is probably what should be, what is on the menu today, or something like, should I be going to office today or working from home today? Should I be wearing this or that? And if you're doubting every single decision, should I be speaking to my manager or not? Or shouldn't I be speaking to my manager and things like that? If you're doubting everything in your life and you feel those are things are very tiny, but still you're not able to come out of that loop, then this is overthinking. And yes, you're definitely a big aspect of overthinking is people pleasing. If I do this, will they like me? If I do this, will they think good of me? How can I make people think good of me? How can I make people feel that I'm a good person? How can I make people believe I'm a good person? How can I do this so that somebody will accept me or somebody will think that I deserve to belong in their structure and all of that stuff? Yeah. So in all these conversations, there is a constant need to please someone. You're just like, some people should think I'm a good person, people should think I'm a very whatever kind of person. Now good is just an example I'm taking here. People should think this is who I am. People should think I am a very affluent person. People should think I am a very happening person. That is a big part of overthinking, because you're constantly obsessing over how to make people believe what you want them to believe about you. And non-stop thoughts, like even if you sit down, probably if you're addicted to your phone and for a moment you're practicing non-addiction, if you keep your phone away, you still cannot stop your mind from racing. Your mind is racing constantly with non-stop thoughts. That's overthinking. And then when you have poor sleep and lifestyle habits, now overthinking directly affects our physical health, overthinking directly affects our emotional health, overthinking directly affects our mental health. And in overthinking, if you're having in any way poor sleeping or lifestyle habits, that's also an indication where you're not able to sleep because you're thinking so much that your mind is not able to come to a rest to sleep. It can be a result as well as a cause for anxiety or depression. Now, overthinking can do both the things. It can lead you to anxiety or depression if it's not taken care of. It can also be one of the results of already existing anxiety or depression that you may have been facing in your life. Unhealthy habits, like I spoke about, lifestyle habits. There could be so many other unhealthy habits that you may pick up on the journey, like biting your nails, scratching your head, or probably a lot of times I've also observed and heard of people removing their skin from some places. These are times when you're so obsessively involved in your mind that you would not even realize when that happened. Only after it has happened, you will start saying, oh, okay, this happened. Okay, I did not notice it because you were so busy in your mind trap. That whole. And overthinking is also an indication of living in fear and in constant fear. So there is a fear of something going wrong. There is a fear that people will think of me in a different way. There's a fear that people will reject me. There's a fear that I will get hurt or anything. There are millions of different types of fears. There can be many types of fears, and there is fear involved. So now, why did we go through this? This is very important for you to understand, that are you in overthinking or you're not? Because sometimes we end up confusing the terminology for something versus another thing because it wasn't happening earlier. But when we and somebody said you're overthinking, and we start to take it as just those that somebody said I'm an overthinker, so I am an overthinker. It's not necessary. If you're not going through these patterns and behaviors, then you're not an overthinker. You may just be probably right now going through a stressful stage. Okay. Otherwise, another thing is that sometimes you may believe that you are dealing with stress, but you might have overthinking as a condition that you're emotionally or mentally dealing with. That's why it is important for us to have this precursor of understanding what are the primary things in overthinking. Okay. And how would you classify yourself as an overthinker? How would you not? So that's important to understand over here, and hence we did that journey. Now, we'll start this journey of overthinking. How do we overcome that? Okay, we've gotten into this pattern. We don't know what to do. We've been hearing people saying all sorts of stuff, but we don't know where to go with this. Now, in that situation, what are the things that you can do right now in order for you to act on it right now? Long-term solutions will show up eventually. Allow me a moment. Missing. Okay. Is anybody else also having an issue with my voice? Am I audible? Are you able to hear me? Give me a thumbs up or something so I know you're able to hear me. I saw the nods, so that's okay. Okay. Everybody is able to hear me. Please give me some indication so that I know it's going.
Yeah, it's clear. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Because I got a message from someone saying they were not able to. Would you want to?
Initially it was not very audible. I think it's okay now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. Now, one important aspect of anything that you're dealing with, since we said there's a spiral that goes on, the idea is to break it. Okay. Now, breaking does not mean you have to break yourself. Breaking does just means that you have to break that spiral. What do? Say right now you're in a spiral of thinking something, right, going on and on and on and on like a mixer. You change your position. You get up and you go somewhere. You go and step out and look at anything that is natural for you, which could be water, which could be earth, which means your ground, which could be soil, which could be sun, which could be moon. But you get up. You get up. Wherever you are, you get up. You give your body a physical shock. Okay. And I don't mean in a wrong way, which means that your mind is so like we talked about, when you're biting your nails, you don't come to know when did you end up biting. I used to have that habit, huge, like I've had that for years and years. I wouldn't even realize when did I end up biting all my nails. So, but I was in constant thought and thinking and all of that stuff. So when you physically change the environment in that moment, even just if it is about stepping up from your bed and going to the terrace or going to your balcony, anything, just a very small step, you break the chain of those thoughts. And for a moment, your brain will be like, okay, there's something else. Yeah, I can look at something else. And there's just this assurance that, okay, there is something else also. It's not just that spiral that I'm going in round and round and round and round. Breaking the chain physically is very important, because if you try and attempt to break it mentally right in the first moment, it may not be successful. And I'm not saying it's a show shot. You could be successful in doing it mentally, but in most cases, when you are learning to get out of these patterns, breaking it physically will be much easier. Another way to do is to splash cold water on your face. Okay, what that does for our nervous system is it allows our nervous system to immediately refresh, because when we are overthinking, our nervous system shrinks. The moment we put cold water on our face, our nervous system expands. Okay, so you immediately splash cold water. Some people also use ice water to break this pattern. So again, if you're comfortable doing that, if you're not comfortable, that's a personal choice you get to make. But a cold water than hot water, splash cold water on your face in order to break it physically and step out of wherever you are. That's the first step. First step for any time you're trying to break your overthinking pattern. And any habit is formed over a few attempts. It will not be first attempt. Every habit will take some time to break. Overthinking is a habit your mind and your body are engaged in. It will take few attempts of breaking that chain in order to get there. Now you start to observe your thoughts. The second part, when you've broken that chain, okay? First step is to break the chain. Second step would be to observe your thoughts. Now, what do we mean when you observe your thoughts? Now, when you've broken the chain, suddenly your body is in a new awareness. When you put water, you've gone and looked at the sky or something, suddenly your body has a new awareness. You immediately observe your thoughts, and your thoughts are, probably your child is sitting at home, and your thoughts are like, my child will get hurt, my child will get hurt, what will happen then, what will happen then? What do? You start to see, what were you thinking? Is that anyway true? It's not. Because overthinking, anything you're overthinking is not true. Anything you're overthinking is not true, because what you're doing is, we come to the third step here. So observe your thoughts. Just observe your thoughts. Maybe you'll be like, okay, somebody will come and harm me. If that is kind of running on your mind, that somebody will harm me, maybe mentally, if not physically. Then you get up and ask yourself again that, is someone really harming me at the moment? If someone is harming you, then definitely that situation has to be solved. But if you're just overthinking in the fear of being harmed, that you need to remind yourself that, okay, right now nobody is harming me. I'm safe. I'm fine. Nobody is harming me. So what will happen when you start to observe those thoughts? It may be anything. Like, so there could be a thought saying, my company will fire me. And you're going in circles, my company will fire me, my company will fire me. Immediately stop and ask yourself, is my company firing me? No. Okay, because if your company was firing you, then you will not be in the idea of my company will fire me. Then you would be in the thought of saying my company has fired me. So when you observe your thoughts, when you observe your words in your thoughts, you will start to observe that a lot of this is being created. It's not truth. Okay, all of this is right now something that your mind is creating, right? Because you're dealing with certain emotions which have not been processed. The third step is notice the story. If I'm telling myself my company will fire me, let's look at, why are you saying that? You are saying that, oh, yesterday I did not do that. I did not send that email on time. Yesterday I ended up speaking to this, there was a senior director or somebody, and I spoke to them in this way. Maybe when they asked me a question, I did not have an answer to that. Any such things that are coming up, this is a story you're telling yourself behind that thought, and you're overthinking that thing. So what do? First step is to break that physical chain. Second step is to also question your mental pattern. The third step is, now when you're looking at the story, you'll also start to see your emotional entanglement. So we've covered every aspect of how you get engaged with anything. We also, when we look at the story, immediately emotions will come up. Oh, I spoke to this person like this, so they felt like this, I felt like this is what happened. Then this is all the entanglement in the story. So when you start to notice the story, so much of progress is already made. You've already walked 3 steps. So you got to first pat yourself and say, I've already walked 3 steps in this journey. I have moved out. I've decided, I've made a decision of getting over my overthinking. And I have already taken the third step to reach it. First step of physical change, the second step of mental questioning, the third step of noticing my emotional attachment and the entanglement through the story. These 3 steps you've already taken to get to the outcome of it. You already come more than halfway through. Okay, now it's just the step left of let go of the assumption. Do you know that you spoke to someone in that way? Are you sure? Are you sure that person got hurt? No, you do not know. Did they tell you? No. Did you go and ask them? No. Did you go and check that if I did not send that email, something actually went wrong and people are sitting and strategizing about my firing me? No. So the point is, in your story, 90% will already be assumption. 90% will be assumption. More than 90% will be assumption. Only 10% may look like some reality which can be changed. If there is a problem, we can always find a solution to a problem. But in the overthinking scenario, 90% of the stuff is only story. 90% of the stuff is assumptions. Right now, you can always take help of a book or notebook or a paper where you can write down all this. The initial process will really help you when you write down all this, and then you start to bifurcate. You write down. So if your child is at home and you're like, okay, my child is in danger, my child is in danger, then you go physically check your child is sitting at home and it's completely safe. First step done. Second step is like, okay, that person doesn't think good of me. The thought process, that person doesn't think good of me. They will hurt my child. Is that true? Have they made an attempt? Has your child in any way been attacked? Have you been given a threatening? If that's the case, then you observe your thoughts, and then you check the story that's coming in, that that day I said this to that person, he would have felt bad, and then this would have happened and that would have happened. Then you notice the story, and then you let go of all the assumptions. So that is very, very critical to any of this. And now the important part is, when we are overthinking, we are either in the past or we're in the future. We start to live in the present, leaving past in the past, future in the future. What is happening in this moment? In this moment, anything you're overthinking, you just have to remind yourself, no, I'm just on a Zoom call. Nothing else is happening. I may be listening to stuff, I'm not listening to stuff, I'm looking at stuff, I'm not looking at stuff, but there's no danger out there. I am fine. There's nothing that's taking anything from me. So you just be in the present. So the best way to be in the present is to take a deep breath right after. Do you want to take this one now? Let's take a deep breath right now. Okay. Let's just get in the present. This is where we are. This is awareness to the body, constantly to remind that we are in the present here with ourselves. Okay. So leave past in the past, future in the future. You would just be in the present for the moment. Then this is each process you build over time. Engage with your time constructively. Start journaling. Even if one day you start journaling, you write on one line, I feel like crap today. Fine. Next day you try and write 2 lines. Third day you try and write 3 lines. So increase your engagement in a constructive way with yourself. And then what you do, every time you're journaling, always make it an effort that what was wrong with your day, what was good with your day, and what would you like to do later. Whatever, today, the balance of the time that you have. 1 second. Is someone who's joining? Allow me a moment. Okay. All right. So journaling is really important to break that cycle. And like I said, you can even take the help of writing down somewhere on the paper and pen for journaling. Take a break from digital media. take a break. Very important, because when we engage a lot with digital media, we tend to become a little hallucinated with the lighting and all that we're facing nonstop, because we are human beings. We were meant to meet people, be in social environments. We are meant to do that, not all the time, but in our most common scenarios. So what happens is, when we're constantly facing screen, we tend to get a little disoriented. So orient yourself back to human connection, to nature connection. That's why it's important to go face nature in some way or the other. Now, listening, meditation. If you, and trust me, meditation is not about sitting and doing om and all that. Meditation is just about engaging in any activity. Maybe you just take a pen and start drawing circles. That's it. Meditation is that. If you're able to focus on something without being distracted, that's meditation. If that is singing for you, dancing for you, drawing for you, writing for you, painting for you, anything is completely fine. All that is meditation. All you have to give your mind is a little bit of slow movement. Meditation is about slowing down your mind. That's it. Meditation is all about bringing, if you're running, and my thoughts run at really high speed, but I'm just taking an example. If your thoughts were running at 10,000 a second, then you reduce it to 10 a second. That's the process of meditation. And it's over time that we reduce. At some point, if you connect with reading, then read. But I guess people who are engaged in overthinking most often are not able to focus enough on reading, but they're able to focus on something that does not involve their mind as such. It's more of creative things which engage with nature or something. But then again, it's a very personal choice. Please see what works best for you. For some people, writing really works. And that's a very individual thing. It is not one blanket all stuff. But most often, creative arts. Okay, listening to growth oriented media. Now, if you feel like listening to, please stop listening to sad songs, please stop listening to sad stories, please stop listening to things where people are going wrong, all these crime related serials and stuff. Please stop all of that until you've reached a point of balance, right? You can always come back to these things. Until you've reached a point of balance, please stop engaging in any media which is going to bring you down, and it's only going to put you back into the loop. Look at any kind of media which will make you better. Now, that could be, if people identify with any gurus talking, you can look at that. If that is that strikes well with you. If you feel there is any kind of podcast or any kind of video engagement that you would like to do, please do that. But all oriented media which will make you think of at least one positive thing or one good thing. Only focus on one good thing. You don't have to change your entire life in one day. Just focus on looking at one good thing from the item you're consuming. Please disconnect from gossiping. Please disconnect from any kind of bringing people down, shaming people, blaming people. Please keep away from news related stuff where it's only about wars and how the world is going to ditches, how everything is going wrong. Because when you are trying to bring yourself out of any negative mental pattern, you need to engage with first healthy patterns. Because when you have engaged with healthy patterns and your mind knows there are two perspectives, if you're only engaging in negative stuff, your mind is like, everything is negative, full blanket, everything is negative. But the moment you start to tell your mind, okay, this may be the whole bunch of negative stuff, and there is this little positive, keep increasing that positive. When both these perspectives are there, you will have the discernment and the balance of knowing what's right for you, what's not right for you. In an overthinking scenario, you would end up thinking everything is going wrong in your life, which is not the truth of matter. And to kind of come to realization of the truth, we just need to engage in better media for ourselves, very importantly. Practice listening to your intuition. Okay, the more you start to engage yourself in good things, which means constructive things. When I say good things, constructive things, your intuition will start talking to you. It will tell you, let's go for a walk today. Let's get up half an hour early. Let's read a book. Let's listen to something. You know, those inspirations and intuitions will start coming to you. Don't talk to that person. Don't meet that person. Or maybe meet this person. You know, those kind of intuitions will start coming to you. There'll be so many things that you will start discovering. You will be surprised how much awesome stuff will come through your intuition when you start listening. When you start listening to yourself, when you start going inwards, with overthinking is going outwards. When you go to inner silence, it'll be all inwards. And it's not so much silence like silence that can scare you guys. It is silence of peace and calmness. That's it. Also, just know that other people's opinions are only opinion, not the truth. Now, somebody may tell you, if we are in India, somebody will tell you it is evening right now. But on the other side of the world, there is also morning and probably early morning. There is some side of the world, it will be afternoon right now. So is this true that everywhere there is evening right now? No. Like that. We keep taking this example of glass half full, half empty. That could be an example. You could look at, if we say, like this, an example, all women are emotional and always crying. Is that true? Well, no. There'll be some women who don't cry and are not always emotional. We are all emotional all the time, quite frankly, as human beings, but they're not always crying. When somebody could say, all men are only logical, they're not emotional. Now, is that true? No. There are so many men out there who access their emotions and are really able to use them in a healthy pattern. There are some men who are not able to do that also, right? So like that, you will find different people, different kinds of. So there is no one truth. People will tell you, something like jobs are like this only. All employers are bad. No, there are amazing employers out there. People would tell you a certain city is bad. Not the truth. You will find so many examples again for people who adore that city, who love that city. So the point is, when we hear people's opinions, tell yourself these are opinions. It's not the truth. It is not the truth. Like some simple thing like that, all the kids out there are just not taking care of their parents. Is that true? No. You'll find amazing examples of kids taking care of their parents. Also, probably like some that parents are only busy, educating kids these days. They don't have time for other things. There will be amazing families you'll find where people are really wanting to build that bond of love in the families. There are so many truths available. I am just taking example of two, but at times you will know there are more than hundreds of truths in the same scenario. And the more you open yourself up, you'll start to discover that is the case. Well, now let's move into clarity. So I have a short meditation for you guys. All you need to now do is just relax. That's it. Just relax. Okay. And it'll just help you. And I'll give you quick context in terms of what this meditation is supposed to do for you guys, or enable for you. This meditation is meant to show you that all this fear and the overthinking that you're engaged in is actually not true. And it will give you an experience and an emotion of that. Instead of just words that you're listening to me right now, you will have an emotional experience right now, emotional and mental experience. So that's the meditation. So requesting, obviously people who are driving, please do not do that. If you're engaged in anything like in front of fire, anything hazardous, please do not do this right now. You can come back to this video later. I'll be sharing the link with you. But everybody who's in a comfortable position can take 10 minutes right now just to relax and just to be with themselves, and they are not in any unsafe situation, please go ahead right now. Okay. So I'll begin with this. So let's just relax, release yourself of all kinds of gadgets. Please don't leave your car. Release yourself of all the gadgets that you're holding right now. And yeah, that's it. Just relax. Your body, you can just relax your body. It doesn't have to be in a stiff posture. Sit back, completely relax, let go of your hands and legs. Just completely let go. So close your eyes right now. Close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, just see how your eyelids are taking a break from all that you've been seeing, observing, looking at all this day today. There's so much fatigue on the eyelids. They just want to relax right now. They want to be like not doing anything. They only want some relaxation, some break from everything that's going on. And now slowly and slowly start observing your breath. Breathe in and see how this air that just went in through your nose is going inside your body. It's going inside your body. It's going inside, and you can observe it passes through your throat and goes down to your chest and goes down to your belly. And as you breathe out, it comes out. And these are things we don't even notice when we are running in the day. This is happening throughout. When we are sleeping, when we are awake. So just notice your breath for some time right now. Only see how amazingly this air goes in, and see the beautiful transformation that happens with this air. You breathe in oxygen and you release out carbon dioxide. And this happens in nanoseconds that you don't even realize. That's how powerful our body is. It can transform things in nanoseconds. And your body, every single part of your body has oxygen right in this process. So just taking a breath, a deep breath. Now breathing in with your nose, breathing out with your mouth, and releasing it with a big like that. Okay. So breathe in and breathe out with a sound. Like releasing all this fatigue and madness that was there. Breathing in, breathing out. And one more time. Breathing in and breathing out. And as you do this, you start to see that you are calmer, your body is more relaxed, you're feeling at peace, you're feeling like there's more to this world than what you've been thinking about. And now let's go on a little trek, little hike. So you see in front of you, imagine there's this grasslands that you've reached. And you're looking around. This grassland is full of greenery, it's full of flowers. Just observing this entire land, this looks like this dreamland that you've been wanting to see, you've been wanting to visit. It's so full of greenery and flowers and everything else that you wish for, even the birds, all of them chirping around. Witness this grassland, just observe it. Then as you see this grassland, you're soaking in this beautiful experience, that feeling of it. And as you soak in this experience, that feeling, you keep moving around and right. What do you see right now? You just see there's a small hill in front of you. And the child inside you is so curious. You know, as children, you wanted to go conquer every hill. The child inside you wants to right now go conquer that hill, get on the top of it. So what do? You don't run right now. You just calmly, slowly walk towards that hill. Start walking towards it, one step at a time. And you're so full of joy. Each step that you take, you're only getting full of joy, of the happiness of doing this. You're so excited. The child inside of you is super excited. In going further and further, and you reach the foothill. And now you start to go up. It's an easy climb. It's very simple. It's like a walk. It's not tough. It's very simple, surrounded by all green things around you. All those flowers, colors. You're soaking in this magic. Keep moving, keep walking, and keep going up one step at a time. Keep going up. You're so soaked in enjoying this experience. You feel like the higher you go, you're reaching closer to these birds. And you start feeling like one of them, that you're ready to take your flight as you go on the top. Keep moving and moving and moving. And there you are. You already made it to the hilltop. You just have. It's a small hill and you made it to the top of that hill. As you stand here, just think of all the things that's been stressing you out. Like you've been stressed with, you've really been overthinking with. Just look at those things. What are those that have been bothering you so much that you've really been stressed about? And you feel it's time for them to go. Think about them. And as you walk further, you see there's a cliff. And you're walking with all these thoughts in your mind. You see there's a cliff. Walk towards that cliff. You're curious to see what's underneath. So just walk towards that cliff. When you're walking towards that cliff, you stand on that cliff. Your intuition tells you to jump. What would you do? You're thoughtful, you're scared. All the fear that's there in the body is coming up. And now, for a moment, you choose your intuition and you say that I am going to jump. And in that moment of intuition, on a count of 1, 2, 3, you will jump. So 1, 2, and 3. Yay, here you are, you jumped. And what did you discover. You didn't fall down. You were already caught on the way. Who's holding you? Where did that bridge come from? You could see it when you were on that cliff. You could not. You were so stressed. You were so scared. But where did that bridge come from? Who's holding you? And how does that bridge look? Is it an old wooden bridge? Is it a rope bridge? Is it a metal bridge? How does that bridge look? And now when you look back at the cliff from that bridge, you're so amazed because when you look down, there was nothing. And now there is this bridge for you. Just soak in this experience and know now, just know that all those worries and stuff that you left behind are already gone. They're already gone. You're fully taken care of. You're fully loved. And now walk on that bridge. Slowly and slowly start walking on that bridge. One step at a time. Enjoy the feeling. When you trusted to jump, you trusted to allow yourself to experience life. You were given an experience. You were held. You were loved. You were taken care of fully. And now you have this gift of a bridge, and that bridge you can walk on. And now you see on the other side of that bridge, there is another cliff. And on that cliff, you see there is these golden bags that are kept. And you're curious, what are those bags? As you walk towards those bags, slowly and slowly as you walk towards those bags, excited, curious, not sure what they are. As you go closer, you look at those bags, every problem that you were thinking of, the solution of each of those is there, right on the other side of that cliff. And each bag says what the solution is. Oh, what better gift can there be? And you go further and further and further. And now open that bag and take that solution. Whatever that solution is for you. Right now, you're taking that solution from complete trust. You're taking it from complete surrender. You're taking it from complete support and love. And this is the best solution that they can be. And if you feel it is not, please ask for a better solution that they can be. But also know that sometimes your mind may want to play with you and say it's not good. But if your heart, in your heart, is feeling right, that's it. This is it. So see how beautiful this journey is. And now you collect all those solutions, you collect all those golden bags, you have all those bags with you. They're not very heavy, they're not heavy at all, in fact, they are freeing you. They've literally added wings to you. So you are ready to fly. And now you go down, further from that hill, further down from that hill, from that cliff. And now you know that you are taken care of. And all this fear and overthinking that you are engaging in is gone. And you have clarity over where you're going, over what's happening. Even if you don't have exact clarity right now, you have a direction. You know that even if you take a leap of faith from your heart, you will find the path. You will find a path. There is a path. Maybe right now in your stress, you're not able to see it, but you'll see it. And whenever you're ready, you can take a deep breath and open your eyes. If you feel like soaking in that feeling more, please do. How are you guys feeling? You please feel free to share. Please feel free to share whatever you're feeling, and if that felt relaxing for you in any way, if that felt lightening for you. It took off some burden from your mind, from your body in any way.
Yeah, it was very nice. Now I have to move. That's what is in my mind, 6:50.
No
I told you. Yeah. Only one quick question. See, my overthinking is always about, I'm so sensitive. I'm a management consultant. I have seen a lot in life. I'm 71 years old. Out of learning desire, I thought, okay, my overthinking is about overthinking about what the other person is thinking. So I'm so sensitive that if they don't answer, I assume a lot of things. And when I take steps, the other person says, I never thought like that, or I never said like that. Or so I end up with a little bit of stupidity on myself because of that, my sensitivity. So always I think, overthink for the others. I say something, so I write something, so they don't reply. So they might be thinking like this. So that is the overthinking, which I am unable to overcome for a long time. Okay.
So the answer to that would be to bring back the focus to yourself. Each time you are obsessing about someone else, the idea would be to bring the focus back to you, because at the end of the day, you cannot control or change what other person is thinking about you. They will think what they will think, irrespective of what you do. So
yeah, because these are all major business decisions. I work with small and medium entrepreneur owners. So it's everything to do with important collaborations and decision making, money, banking, so many other things. So there's one. Personally, also with relatives and all, I overthink. This is one of my problem. Anyway, I will keep in touch with you. I will have to leave now. Thank you so much for your valuable time. So I could get a perspective on other things. Thank you very much. And yeah, thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So for everyone else who's here, anybody else wants to share how they felt? What was it for them? Did you guys really find anything that you're taking back today? Okay. Whenever you're ready to share. And I got a message for someone saying your voice is music right now. So thank you so much. Okay, now this is an invitation for you to be a part of the membership program, because that's something that's going to bring us back to love. Every single time the membership is called Return to Love. We were all children born into love. We were full of love. We always wanted to love everyone. And now, with years of our programming, years of our experiences, we've gathered all these hatred, jealousy, pain, trauma, and stuff like that. And the journey here is to get back to love in order to build our best life. And our best life is only possible when we are back to love. And also the fact that our best life is only unfold when we overcome and heal from the stuff that's holding us back, which may be our limiting beliefs, which may be our traumas, which may be our experiences, which may be our limited perspectives. And this membership is going to be a safe, non-judgmental space for you, wherein you get to heal and also be accountable for your healing on a regular basis. You get to have a community where people would be with you, supporting you on this journey, cheering for you, not jealous of you. And this is the best place that any one of us would need, would want, would deserve, because we do deserve a place, a safe space completely. As human beings, you're meant to be safe emotionally, mentally, physically. And that's what this offer is for you. That's what this space is for you. And